Keith Harring is a young artist who specializes in graffiti. He began in the New York subways, and he has surfaced with major shows around the world.
Keith is in Milwaukee working on a 100-foot-long fence at a Marquette University building site. Keith, it's good to have you here. Keith Harring, tell us a little bit about what Howard said. You started working in a subway. How did you manage that?
Well, I've been working in the subway in New York for about the past 2.5 years.
Where I draw is on where they usually have advertisements on the platform. And when they don't have enough advertisements, they put empty black paper to cancel out the old ad. And what was, say, once an ad for McDonald's or something with kids running around trying to convince you it's healthy or whatever, it's now a blank canvas that I get to play with.
And would you say that's what art is for you? Play?
For sure. Getting the opportunity to make the art is enough for me. I try to keep the process very lighthearted. Listening to music really helps. It can be hard sometimes tackling certain topics like war, addiction, bigotry, but you know, it's important. And I really hope my work makes it a little easier for other people to talk about.
That's very important work you're doing. Letting people know they're not alone dealing with those issues. I'm sure you relate to some of those issues. Do you ever feel your work is unfairly judged for you being openly gay?
I mean, I'm sure some do. Not much I can do about them. I know who I am, and I'm happy with it. I spent a long time, too long, worrying about what other people thought about me. And that's dangerous. That's what kills your spirit. It really hurts. You gotta be willing to take risks and do what no one else is doing. And people will hate you for that. But that's how you know you're doing something right.
That's a very interesting way to think about it. So, when you're working on a piece, what is your goal? Or what do you want the people to feel when they see your work?
Every piece is really different. Sometimes it means something very different to me than it will to other people. I never know how the piece is going to be perceived until it's done, really. Some people will laugh at something, some people get upset. Either way, it made an impression. The piece, it did its job.
Is it still difficult to hear criticism about your work after all this time?
It can be. Some people try to demean my work by calling it childish. And I mean, it is, but that's the whole point. That's what makes it accessible for my audiences. I mean, my work is everywhere. I want anyone who sees it to be able to get something out of it, you know? But yeah, it can be hard sometimes, hearing people make those comments about the pieces that are more personal to me, especially. You just have to learn to let it roll off your back. You can't let that stuff weigh you down. If you spend all your time worrying about what other people think about you, you'll never take the risk that you need to be successful, to get somewhere. When I started painting in the streets and in alleyways, everyone told me I was crazy, you know? They'd say my art is, it doesn't belong there, it's vulgar, it's too childish, it's blah, blah, blah. What it comes down to is you gotta have the confidence in yourself.
All right, to send us off, what advice do you have for any young, aspiring artists watching right now?
Fail. Allow yourself to make mistakes and don't punish yourself for them, because you will mess up. Because if you can let go of that fear to fail, you open yourself up to so many other opportunities. When you're putting yourself out there, you're taking risks, trying new things, that's when the magic happens. Think about all the celebrities you love. What makes them special? They're trying something new. They're allowing themselves to be vulnerable on camera or through song, and they use that to create something great. And you know what? They got where they are because they weren't afraid to make mistakes. And they did a lot along the way, I'm sure. I mean, I know I did. But that's how you get better. No one starts off making Picassos. You have to find the strength and the courage in yourself to keep practicing, even if people tell you to give up.
All right, Keith, thank you so much for sitting down with us today. We hope you all enjoyed, and we'll be right back after this commercial break.